Volleyball is the most widely played sport in the world. That's right, I said it. According to the Olympic Program Commission, volleyball is the most widely played sport in the entire world. In fact, the sport encompasses 900 million fans spanning across a variety of different demographics all around the world. Volleyball was created in 1895 by a man named William G. Morgan, who was the physical director of the Young Men's Christian Association, more commonly referenced as the YMCA, in Holyoke, Massachusetts. Interestingly enough, the sport was first invented as an indoor sport for businessmen who found basketball to be a little too vigorous. Now, though, the sport is played by a wide variety of people ranging from children's leagues all the way to the professional level. At its most basic level, volleyball games consist of two teams of 6 players on the court at a time, separated by a net. Out of these 6 players, the positions include the setter, middle blocker, outside hitter, opposite hitter, libero, and serving specialist. There is a front row and a back row of players. The front row is most commonly reserved for blockers and hitters. While the team may utilize the back row for the occasional hit, the back row is primarily left to the defensive specialist. That is, those players who are best at receiving the ball and making accurate passes to the setter. There are various different officials in the volleyball match. First, there is the first referee. Oftentimes, this individual is called the up ref. He or she is considered the leader of all the refs and therefore is in charge of managing the entire match. They take their position above the net at the referee's stand to see all of the action up close. More often than not, there is a second referee who stands at the end of the net outside the playing area. This ref is known as the down ref. They are generally an assistant to the up ref. Lastly, there are the line judges who primarily determine whether the ball is in or out of bounds when it lands near the line and signal in or out. Before each game begins, each team is allotted a warm-up time that consists of just about 10 minutes to work on hitting and serving. Each team trades back and forth, transitioning between each skill. After the warm-up procedures are out of the way, the game begins. The volleyball game consists of sets. The team that wins the most sets wins the entire match. 3-set matches are 2 sets to 25 points and a third set to 15 points. For 5-set matches, the first 4 sets are to 25 and the 5th set is to 15. On top of that, the team must win by 2 points. The team who receives the ball first will serve the ball over the net to the receiving team. Usually the server has a set routine that they perform before they toss the ball into the air and serve it across the net. The ball can either be served by tossing the ball up in the air and swinging through the ball while the feet remain on the floor, or it can be a jump serve where the player tosses the ball up and proceeds to get a running head start before hitting it over the net. Once the ball is served, the opposing team receives the ball. Wherever the ball is served, the player will pass the ball using the forearms or hands above the head to the setter. The setter is the player who assists the ball to the hitter. The setter is arguably the most important player on the court, as the team relies on them to set up the hitter for a kill. What is a kill, you may ask? A kill is a hit that is unreturnable by the opposition. This results in an immediate point for the hitting team. A hitter transitions into position as the setter is setting the ball. When the set is placed into the air, the hitter normally takes a 3-step approach before swinging through the air with their dominant hand to aim the ball wherever they may want to on the opposing side. The receiving team utilizes what is known as a block to try and make sure that the hitting team doesn't receive a point. A block is a defensive play where 1, 2, or 3 front row players jump while pressing their arms over the net in efforts to stop the opposing team from hitting the ball. Kennesaw State University's star freshman outside hitter Manu Johnson is as talented as they come, but it's not all about the specifics for her. Volleyball is her escape from reality and the motivation for her life skills.
For me, volleyball is like a space I can play and develop as a human. So I see volleyball as my playground to have hard conversations and struggle through times, but still be able to push through in a safe environment so I can take that outside of the real world.
Volleyball is a team sport. It is a sport that requires trust between players to create victory. It takes the combination of technique, patience, and knowledge to win a game. Without all 3, most teams are not successful. One player doesn't shine, all players must work together for the greater good of the team.